back with another episode of the Critics Collective. I'm Legacy Lingo, and I'm being joined by the legends Lolo and Big J. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in to this review of A Real Pain. This is starring Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. It's actually directed by Jesse Eisenberg. And I'm looking forward to reviewing it with you guys. But of course, I do want to ask you guys, if you are joining us, you're new, we want to welcome you to the family. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the alerts button, hit the thumbs up, and join our collective community. All right, so I just had the pleasure of watching this. I know you guys when it was released in December. It came out late 2024. Am I right? Or was it
Yeah, it
December?
did come out late last year.
Yeah, late last year, and I just I just got a chance to see it. I appreciate you guys being patient with me so we can talk about this, because this one actually it caught me off guard. So I'm excited to discuss it. The synopsis on IMDb has it as mismatched cousins reunite for a tour through Poland to honor their beloved grandmother, but their old tensions resurface against the backdrop of their family history. Interesting. Interesting how to.
Pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So I would like to get your initial impressions. Big J, can I start with you this time? What was your initial impression when you came across this movie?
I was excited to watch it. I mean, I didn't really follow it until, you hear the awards buzz, it's getting nominated, you hear about Kieran Culkin, all that stuff, a lot of buzz around him. So you're like, oh, I'm excited to see this. So then whenever you go into movies, you can be really either very pleased by them and very thing, or sometimes they can be the most disappointing movies you ever see. Because I've seen many movies where it's like, oh, this is going to win all the awards, and then you watch it and it's like, and you're like, that's going to win all the
Sure.
awards.
Sure it
But my
is.
Yeah.
initial impressions, I had a lot of high hopes for it. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. How about you, Lolo?
I actually forgot Jesse Eisenberg directed another movie before this. I guess it had Julianne Moore and the kid from Stranger Things, Finn Wolfhard. We did not see that one. So I thought this was his directorial debut, in which I was excited to see. But it was not, which is fine. I was excited about the cast. Of course, the awards buzz factored into it a little bit. And then, like, walking and talking cinema is often hit or miss, like Big J said. Awards buzz movies tend to like gravitate towards those really independent small dramas, and it doesn't always pay off for me personally, but I was looking forward to this, especially with the awards buzz around Kieran Culkin. So I'm excited to talk about his performance.
Awesome. Well, I did not have the luxury of hearing about the buzz and whatnot. It basically just caught me off guard when I turned on my streaming service, and then it was right there available. And when I saw the title, I immediately my initial impression was like, oh, I gotta make sure I'm in the right headspace before I watch this. Yeah, so it's why it took me so long, because I wasn't sure, and I don't like to watch trailers. I don't like to read up on the stuff, because I don't want my expectations to be one thing and then I'm disappointed, or the trailer to give you all of the great moments and then you're waiting to get more and you're left disappointed. So I stay away from trailers. So once I saw the title, my assumption was, oh, it's gonna be heavy. Let me wait till I'm ready to watch it. And now here we are. So
That's a good, keep that in mind going into it, gang. If you are gonna watch it, yeah, be in the right headspace.
exactly. All right, so I'm gonna go back to you again, Big J. If you want to give us your highs and lows, tell us how you felt about this one.
This one's gonna be probably mostly highs, honestly. Um, the acting's fantastic. Kieran Culkin is great. So is Jesse Eisenberg. So Jesse Eisenberg hasn't gotten a lot of buzz, but I think he's equally as good in this as uh, Kieran Culkin, and I think they play well as these kind of polar opposite characters, because Jesse Eisenberg is the introvert. He's completely unsure of himself wherever he goes. He's always questioning everything. He's constantly worried about what everyone else is concerned about or what they think. Kieran Culkin, Jesse Eisenberg also has his life completely together. He is married as a kid. He has a career. Kieran Culkin's the polar opposite. He's, charming. He's outgoing. He's an extrovert. He's never concerned with what anyone thinks of him, and it gives him a lot of freedom to say whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and that's hard if you're ever an extrovert and you're like someone so outgoing, or next to you. I'm kind of an introvert myself, so I kind of feel Jesse Eisenberg when someone's doing that. You kind of get that secondhand embarrassment about yourself and that little bit of like a cringe and that uneasy feeling when people do that. But I think he plays it well. It's a little too tight for both of them. I've seen Jesse Eisenberg play the douchey asshole too, but in this he plays the introvert more than he does the extrovert. Kieran also plays that kind of outgoing person more, but they do it well. And I think the directing is really good in this. The themes are great. I mean, it deals. Their grandmother was a Holocaust survivor. She recently passed away right at the beginning of the movie. You find that out. Kieran is very close to her, so they're going through this big, pilgrimage to Poland, and so it deals with the Holocaust, deals with all that, and they talk about the kind of, the dichotomy of like enjoying this weird vacation while also learning about the Holocaust, and they're having fun, but at the same time you're hearing about one of the worst tragedies in the world, and it's this weird dichotomy, and everything is just. This is one of the movies where I just like had such an emotional punch for me watching it. It's like, and that's what I hope for the most, is to feel at least something, while watching the movie. And this one had a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I don't really have that many. I can't think of really much negative to say about it, honestly.
Yeah, I get it. I respect it. I understand. Lolo, why don't you go ahead and let me know how you felt about it?
I mean, I second everything Big J said. Probably times two. I think this was one of my favorite movies of 2024. This is where walking and talking cinema really pays off, because the connection and the bond between Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin is so strong. They play off of each other so well. They are each other's polar opposites, that you really get this sense that they are these characters that they're playing. And like Big J said, Kieran Culkin is getting a lot of awards buzz. I see him winning Best Supporting Actor. In my mind, in a just world, that's what would happen for me. But Jesse Eisenberg rightfully deserves some talk there too. And Kieran won the Golden Globe. Obviously, the Golden Globes don't translate into who's going to win an Oscar because they're trash. But um, I mean, was really, really emotionally drawn to this movie and to their connection. And like Big J said, with everything going on in the world right now, I feel like this is a story that needs to be told. It's like this like window into other people's pain. And I feel like if you have any kind of empathy just as a person, you don't have to have experienced this terrible thing to understand what it's like to see someone else's pain and to understand what they're going through. And so many of those themes resonate to where we are right now in America in 2025. And it was just, like he said, a gut punch. It really was a gut punch. And it kept me guessing too, which I think was a little shocking for a movie that's just like you said, enjoying your vacation, but also learning about this horrible thing that happened in history. It really kept me on my toes, and it kept me waiting for the punch around the next corner. So yeah, this is truly one of the best movies I think I saw last year.
Yes, I absolutely have to agree with you. Um, for me, I don't have many lows either, but what I pulled from watching this is one of the biggest things that I pulled from it is that I felt like both characters were suffering, and they just handled it different. And there was a
Mhm.
moment where Jesse Eisenberg is talking to everyone, and you're starting to really see how much he's suffering. Yes, his life is together, and I really related to him, and because of that, I'm not an introvert, but the way I deal with with whatever's hurting me or whatever's bothering me is I hyper focus on what I think will fix it, and he's thinking having his life together, focusing on the job, the kids. That's what I pulled from it anyway, and I could just be projecting, but hyper focus
Nice.
on that to which what you think will soothe that pain. And he's actually still struggling at the fact that, I don't want to spoil anything, but where his cousin is in life is bothering him, and he's not truly happy with his life, and then he's still dealing in a different way with the loss of his grandmother. I was really relating to that, and it made me sad, and it also made me feel guilty because people that act like Kieran's character, I tend to stay away from because of the way that they're up and down, up and down. And I understand you may be going through something, but I don't want to take the responsibility of trying to help you through it. And I know that sounds very selfish, but it's because just like Jesse Eisenberg's character, I'm going through some stuff myself, and it may not be as obvious, but it's there. And so the
Right.
movie it made me happy, it made me sad, it made me feel guilty for not trying harder to be there for other people just because they don't handle things the way I do. And yeah, it was a gut punch, but for a number of reasons. And I absolutely loved it. I loved both performances. I loved I love the way everybody else reacted. I loved that there was a lot of reality to it. There were some people that were annoyed, and they weren't scared to really kind of drop their comments. Then there were some people that maybe didn't want to confront it. Then there were some people that were empathetic, and I felt like all of these characters were written so well. The movie was done very well, and I do have to agree with you, Lolo. It kept me guessing because I didn't know how it was going to end, and I was actually a little worried.
Me too.
Not sure where this is going to go, where it's going to fall, and I definitely, I you do have to be in a good space in order to watch this because there's something that you can relate to no matter who the character is. You don't have to actually have the same family history to understand the weight of it all. They did a very good job, especially with the tour aspect. Um, you know, implementing that while still giving us the story of these two. They were giving us a lot at once, and it wasn't just kind of sometimes you get these movies, something is just kind of sprinkled in. This is
Mhm.
the focus, and then everything else is just kind of, oh yeah, and that happened too. No, they did a good job of giving us everything and with the right temperature, the right presentation. And yeah, I don't have any of those either. So I guess the really big question is how high are we going to rate this thing? So let's go ahead and get into that. The Critics Collective ratings, we give accolades from 0 to 5, 5 being excellent. Excellent is a must watch, highly recommended for all viewers. 4 accolades is good, worth watching, but has notable flaws. 3 accolades, average, some enjoyable moments, but lack significant impact. 2 accolades, below average, some redeeming qualities, but generally disappointing. 1 accolade, poor quality, not recommended. And 0 accolades, horrible, absolute trash. And fortunately, we have not had any for 2025, and hopefully we won't get any, but you know how that goes. All right. So,
Where's it gonna
uh,
be?
yeah. So I'm gonna start with you, Big J. How many accolades are you giving this one?
I'm gonna give it 5. It feels good to actually rate a really good movie for once. I think this is the first movie that actually we've reviewed together that we've given a positive rating to, like a yeah,
Yes.
but sadly enough. But I swear we don't hate movies, and we love
Right.
them, But this one I give 5. Like I said, Jesse Eisenberg, Kieran Culkin, and the rest of the rest of the tour group. Jennifer Grey's in there; she's good too.
Yes.
There's a
Mhm.
lot of smaller actors who have their own stories in this too that you can relate to. They're in there a bit, and you get a sprinkling of the tour guide has a moment. Um, all of that stuff. So yeah, I think there's something most people can relate to. It's very emotional, funny at times, sad at
Mhm.
others. Dramatic. So it has all these emotional roller coasters going through. So yeah, 5 for me.
5. I love it. I love it. How about you, Lolo?
I was gonna say 5 as well. I think that, maybe our reputation is preceding us here on the Critics Collective that that we're just huge haters. It's not true, I swear. We I am so thrilled to talk about a movie that genuinely deserves good praise
Mhm.
all around for every aspect: directing, writing, acting, even like the cinematography and the music that was played. Everything felt like this one cohesive unit. And it's just emotional and it's wonderful and it is sad and it is dark, but it just felt like a movie that everybody should watch right now,
Yes.
specifically if you're in the right headspace at this moment in time.
Yes, absolutely. And I am very proud to say that I'm giving it a 5 as well. And just everything about this, like you said, multiple emotions. It was great. And I think the biggest thing that made me love it the most, what was the way it ended. Not every movie has to have like a set resolution. Sometimes you just go back into that rhythm, even if it's not the best. It's your life. You just kind of roll back into things. And I thought it was phenomenal. I was just like, man, this is really good writing, really on point, and I think everybody should watch this movie and let us know in the comments. Get in those comments. Let us know if you watched it. Let us know how you feel about it. Let us know how many accolades. I was about to go on a emotional tangent, but I'm bringing it back now. All right, so yeah. So if you guys enjoyed this review, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the alerts button, and hit the thumbs up button, and let us know in the comments how you felt about this movie. And it's okay if you disagree. We want to have those conversations with you. We're not here to judge, but this is like a collective critics. So we just want everybody to have their opinion and feel free to speak on it. And I'd love to have those conversations with you guys. All right. So this was A Real Pain, which you can now find. I believe it's available on Hulu with subscription, and you might be able to rent it on Amazon Prime. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier, but that's where you can find this movie if you're looking for it. And it was directed by Jesse Eisenberg and starring Kieran Culkin with a number of other people that you'll recognize. All right. So I'm Legacy Lingo. I have Lolo and Big J, and we will see you guys on the next one.